Just 1 minute.
Get it started.
Okay. Cool. All right, Drew, whenever you're ready.
I call this meeting to order at 7:02 p.m.
Okay, so I'll be starting the meeting with the sorry, I have a lot of technical difficulties right now, so my computer is like really hard to work with. But for the roll call, I'm trying to pop up with my screen, but it's taking forever, so I'm sorry. Okay, I'll start with attendance. So is Youth Commissioner Drew here?
Here.
Ash Lister.
Here.
Caitlin Bender.
Here.
Caitlin Chu. Oh wait. Hold on. I'm trying my hardest right now. I'm so sorry. It's all like my computer. Julie, by any chance, is it the list at all? Like, it's in the Google Drive, right?
Yeah, it's on the Google Drive, I think in just the main folder.
Okay.
It says Youth Commission roster.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Okay, sorry. So is Amelia here? Youth Commissioner Amelia.
Here.
Amelia Chu.
Here.
Simone Garcia.
Here.
Adi.
Here.
Lily.
Here.
Amog.
Here.
Sahara.
Here.
Hannah.
Here.
And Julie.
Here.
So now we will go to the approval of minutes. So if you guys can pull up then, or if Julie, you can share the September 14th minutes on the screen in case nobody else has that open up on their end. The way this works is when you're approving your minutes, first we would go over the minutes from that last meeting, kind of making sure that everything was discussed there. After you have made your own personal run through of the minutes, one person would say, I motion to approve of the minutes. And then somebody else, and the second person would say, I second that. So that's how you approve minutes. And then there is another part where we then say like all who agree say aye, all who oppose say nay. And if you're absent at a meeting, you don't reply at all. You wait and you say I abstain, as you were not there and you really don't have a vote in terms of approving of those minutes. So here is the September 14th minutes. So we can go, or we personally just go through that, make sure everything is like what we did, and then somebody can motion to approve and somebody can second.
And Emily, can you make a note of exactly who motions and seconds when they do that? Just their name.
Of course.
I motion to approve the minutes.
I second that.
Sorry.
So who motioned the minutes? That way Emily can write that down.
I did.
Okay, so Ada, and then who seconded that?
Caitlin, Ing.
Okay. And then now we're going to be looking at September 21st. That was a meeting we had last week. It was a combined meeting with the City of Saratoga Youth Commission, City of Cupertino. So only those who were present would be able to approve or motion to approve the minutes. I motion to approve the minutes.
I motion to approve the minutes.
And then I believe this is where we're gonna then ask all who agree, then you would say aye. And since we're gonna say all who oppose say nay, and then we're gonna say those who are absent, then they would say abstain. So are we still doing that, Julie, or are we not? Okay. So all who agree say aye.
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 All who oppose say nay. And then all who abstain say aye.
I abstain.
Aye.
I abstain.
Hey guys, so when you're saying that, you want to make sure you say your name so that Emily can get everybody down for those who abstain.
Can you guys repeat your names for the abstained?
Lily, I abstain.
I Hannah Bolt abstain.
I, Amelie Ringo, abstain.
Ashling Lister, abstain.
Zara Kazarli, I abstain. Simone Garcia, I abstain.
I, Mo Kumwe, abstain.
I, Caitlin Bender, abstain.
Okay, now are there any oral requests? Any announcements? All right, so time for old business. So we have the Pizza and Politics event that is on October 9th, 6 to 8 p.m. Julie, do you want me to continue explaining as to like what we discussed, or do you want to take over?
Yeah, if you want to go over kind of what we talked about last week, and then I'll think of anything else to fill in if you miss anything.
Okay. So last week we had a joint commission meeting with the City of Saratoga, City of Cupertino in regards to the Peace and Politics event that we're going to have on October 9th. So last week was kind of like a planning idea in terms of how we're going to advertise and like the next steps we're going to take in terms of who's going to be in charge of different parts of communicating with those who are present on either Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and giving questions for the moderator, who will then ask like the local leaders. So October, I believe it's October 5th, if I'm correct, we're going to have a tech rehearsal. And then October 9th is actual event. So I think if we're in person, we would be meeting at around 5:30. Are we still meeting at 5:30, Julie, that day, to make sure everything technology perspective is kind of like, you know, working, or should we all hop on around 6?
Yeah, if you have an actual speaking role in the event, which you won't if you weren't at the meeting last week, so don't worry about that. But if you have an actual role, then yeah, you would probably get on about 5:30. For everyone else, it would be great for you guys to just tune in at 6 o'clock, either on the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live feed that they're gonna do.
Okay. And then another thing is we did discuss, we kind of did join late in terms of, kind of contributing work in terms of the Pizza Politics event. But one thing that we will be doing as the Youth Commission is one, reaching out and spreading or advertising the event. So we can, use Facebook, use our own social media platforms as a way to kind of spread about the event. So I believe the liaison of the Youth Commissioner Cupertino, they think they're going to send us a link, or maybe we share one of their posts that they recently posted on their Instagram, so we can post on our stories, or that way we can spread. And then we can also, it's really recommended that maybe reach out to people in like civic engagement related clubs and groups in your school, as this is one great way for different clubs to kind of get involved and kind of meet with local leaders. So if you guys have like like a student council, talk to ASB. So we will send we will have like an email template, I believe, available for you guys that we can send out to reach out to these different parts of your school and clubs. And another thing that we as a youth commission are going to be doing is that Julie showed just now is like kind of with Pizza and Politics, normally we're in person, we would go to like a building. We kind of have like a lot of pizza and like listening to like all these talks, but because we can't really do anything in person due to COVID-19, one way we're going to still have the whole pizza form is actually making our own pizza. So I believe we have to create our own how to make a pizza video that we're going to share on our social media platform. And then to kind of give like, that way with that video, we're going to kind of break down like, ways to make pizza, give different like, possibility for topping the ingredients, and kind of share, kind of show our creativity. And then I do believe, who was it? It was Cassidy. She did make that whole bread video, I believe, over the summer. So we can kind of ask her in terms of like how to kind of capture that whole how to make a pizza video as like a fun activity to kind of share on our platforms. And so that's like one event that that's one other thing we're going to be doing as Youth Commission to kind of catch up and really contribute to this event, because this is going to be our first event, kind of show the first start for a term. And I believe that's it. Is there anything else, Julie, that I may have missed, or?
Caitlin, did you have a question real quick?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, so about like the how to make pizza video, were we gonna make another one ourselves, like from the Campbell Youth Commission, or are we just gonna like advertise the one that was already made?
I would like it if somebody was up to make our own video so that it was from us also. I can kind of show you some examples of what that would look like. It can be something really simple. The one that Saratoga did is pretty long and pretty in depth, so it doesn't have to be quite that long. And yeah, like I said, Cassie did a really awesome one over the summer for how to make a bread. And it can be something pretty simple like that. So if anyone is up to that extra assignment, I would very greatly appreciate it, so that we have something from Campbell that we're doing to promote the event too.
So I believe that's it in terms of the Pizza Politics event. So just as a reminder, we're going to have a tech rehearsal on October 5th. And I believe that is again at, is that from 5 to 7, or is that 6 to 8, Julie?
I believe that one starts at 5. And
Okay.
again, that's only for the people who have like a role in the event. So not everyone has to make it to that.
But then it is, I believe it is it mandatory? Yeah, it's mandatory to attend October 9th one. That's next Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll repeat that again in terms of calendar reminders, but that is a mandatory event that we're going to all be there to kind of show our support, kind of get involved with, ask questions either on YouTube Live or Facebook, kind of get involved, kind of ask all these like, local leaders from the Saratoga, Cupertino, and Campbell, kind of, get more people and youth involved. So that is again October 9th, next Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. And now I believe the next thing on our agenda in terms of old business is going over the Youth Commission work plan, subcommittee development, and getting any updates from subcommittees. So we have first up is College and Beyond. So with the College and Beyond subcommittee, chair like to speak up in terms of what has been done or any updates in terms of any events they may have.
Okay, so we planned our first two events. Our first event is going to be a college essay workshop that's going to take place on October 21st for about 2 hours. And so we were trying to decide between 5 to 7 or 6 to 8. And then, but I'll be on that day. And so we're going to work on reaching out and emailing teachers to see who can come. And then our second event, we're kind of planning on doing like an informational college panel with Campbell Youth Commission alumni as the people who would come and answer questions about the college application process.
So in terms of that, I did reach out to Lexi, Katya, and Monacy. They are very willing to kind of speak about their whole college application process experience, kind of give any advice for anybody who would be willing to attend the event. Certainly ask them to ask any of their friends in college to speak up. You guys have any family members too, or family that are in college, that'd be highly recommended to maybe reach out in terms to see if they're available. So we're first going to get a better idea of as to where all these people, what their availability is like. And then we can kind of find a more concrete date rather than picking a date that does not work in terms of having a strong panel with people from different majors at the same time, had different experiences with the whole college application process. Are there any updates or anything else needed to be said for College and Beyond?
I have a question. So what day would it happen for the college workshop for the essay writing? Do you have a date or a time? Because I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so we have it. We have Carmen, you can go. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So the essay writing's on October 21st, and we're still trying to pinpoint the exact date for the second meeting because it really depends on the availability of the panel members.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, so the two timings we have that are possibilities are 5 to 7 or 6 to 8. We're planning on reaching out to different teachers who are going to be willing and kind of see which one works best for them. Because we don't want to have a time that doesn't work for them. We want to get the best amount of time we can have for everybody to make the best out of that experience and get all the help they need.
Just a suggestion about the time thing. It might be better to have a concrete time, and then you can just go and ask teachers, because even if they're not available, that's okay. But I feel like it kind of leaves too much for them to pick, and then you'd have to decide and then get back to them. So it might be a little bit more complicated to do it that way. But that's just a suggestion.
Yeah, of course, that makes complete sense. So now we can move on to academics. Any updates in terms of the academic subcommittee?
We have planned one sort of chain of events, which is a study group where students, middle school and younger students can come onto Zoom or something, or platform like that, and can get help with their work from people from college or high school, or maybe even teachers if they're up for it, but they probably aren't because school is hard. And so we're planning on doing this every month. We haven't made everything exact yet, but I believe we were thinking of doing it on one of the Saturdays in a month, but we will plan more in depth by the next meeting.
Now, anybody have any questions for academics or anything else they would like to add on before we move on to Civic Engagement Subcommittee?
I just have a quick suggestion, recommendation from last year, what we learned from doing tutoring. Obviously, everything's different now as far as how people are doing their homework and getting support. I just wanted to throw out a reminder for those who were here last year and a heads up for those who weren't. Monthly tutoring, we really struggled getting a consistent group coming in. So bear that in mind. Obviously, things are different. We were thinking weekly might be too much for tutors to come in and help, but yeah, getting that consistent base will really help that program for sure.
I think kind of going off of that would also, I think a lot of seniors and juniors, I mean, volunteer hours are kind of hard to get now, especially for COVID-19. I don't know how many schools have kind of adjusted their whole volunteer hour requirement. So maybe you can kind of use that as an opportunity to get more people kind of involved. So maybe you can cater in terms of reaching out to like, upperclassmen and kind of get them to be a part of this like whole tutoring process, because just with the way things are, volunteer hours are still kind of hard to get. So that could be another way we can also get people to be part of the whole tutoring aspect and also, kind of be interested in the event.
Another thing, adding on to that, you could possibly, I don't know if this is like too much to ask for, but if you guys are struggling to get like kids to get tutored for, maybe like contact like some elementary schools or middle schools and like teachers and see if they like have students that are like really struggling in classes, and like individually like email them, be like, hey, like if you have any students that are like not doing this well in your class, like it can definitely help them. So
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Any public comments? Okay, so now we can move on to civic engagement.
Okay, so we had our first subcommittee meeting yesterday, and so we decided that we're going to hold our voter registration event on October 17th. We haven't decided on a time yet, but I think we're going to try to contact Phil's and see if we can do it outside of Phil's. And then if not, we'll contact businesses in the prune yard. And then if not, then maybe we'll try the library. But we were thinking about having paper registration, but we found out that there's a lot of paperwork that goes into it. So we might have like online registration available there. So this week we're going to try to make the digital flyers for that, and then also for the teens that can work voter registration so that they can sign up and learn about the event starting this weekend.
Any questions for civic engagement? Any public comments? Okay, now we're on to environment.
So we two decided on 2 events, and the first was like an environmental webinar series, bringing awareness to environmental issues, and that's going to take place sometime around November. We have yet to decide on a specific date, but we will be doing that soon. And then we were also going to plan a internet challenge in a way for all students. They could volunteer and post vlogs or images of themselves conducting volunteer activities, and that would occur in November as well. We still haven't decided a date for that one.
Any questions for environment? Any public comments? So now we're to wellness.
For our mental health awareness webinar, we decided to host that on December the 6th, sometime in the afternoon.
Any questions for wellness? Any public comments? Recreation.
Okay, we talked about doing a arts and crafts thing for Halloween time. And I know during our little meeting, we talked about, Rebecca brought up how she does a trivia night with online. So we wanted to try bringing that here and try doing Netflix parties, movies for a virtual movie night, because we used to do a lot of movie nights, and try bringing that back. But we still need to talk about dates and the execution.
Did you say something about like a game? Like I heard the arts and crafts during Halloween time, and then what was the thing that you said right after?
Oh, like the trivia night.
Okay.
I know we talked about trying it out. Maybe it could be like a monthly thing or every other month.
I think another thing you guys could possibly do, I mean, hopefully this trend continues up until that time, but maybe have like a little giant Among Us game, or maybe kind of do one for like catered on Zoom where you're actually on your film, where you're kind of like jumping from breakout rooms and kind of have fun activities. I think that could be another kind of cool, creative way to kind of have a recreation or a kind of event. Certainly there are multiple ways of planning it out, but I think that is, I mean, I'm kind of obsessed with Among Us, so I think that I believe many other people are too. So I think that'd be a pretty cool event for people to get really involved with. Any other questions for recreation? Any public comments? Okay, now we are to social justice.
So social justice has mostly planned its first event of the year, which we're planning to have a virtual movie night to watch On the Basis of Sex, the movie about the life of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And we are planning to have that, let's see, what did I say the date would be? Sorry, wait, I can't remember exactly when it is. Let me look, give me 1 second, because I can look at the poster. But so we just had some questions because the movie is PG-13, and so we're wondering about like how we can advertise that, and like can we have people under 13 watch it with their parents' permission, and like how we would go about that. So if anyone has like, you know, guidelines or recommendations, that would be very helpful.
I know at the library when we do movies, it's always PG-13 or younger, if it's a teen audience, obviously. We didn't have permission forms regarding PG-13. We had a permission form when it was in person regarding dropping your child off and then come pick up your child. But my opinion is that if it's advertised really clearly as PG-13, parents will make decisions about letting their child watch it or not.
Yeah, Rebecca, do you not have any issues with like, I don't know, kids logging on without their parents' permission and then parents getting upset because they didn't know about it kind of thing?
That hasn't happened yet because the programs we've been hosting haven't had content that is questionable. It's been crafting and mental health stuff and workshops and fun stuff. And yeah, but in person, I would apply the same rule as to online, which is if it's really clearly stated it's PG-13, then it's the parent's responsibility to be aware of the program that their child's attending.
Okay, so then that clears that up for me. And then, so we are planning to have like a test run of like projecting the movie over Zoom on Thursday, like unless people think that, you know, that the quality will be good, but we wanted to just like test it to see, to make sure that it won't be like extremely glitchy. And so we're planning to have it this Thursday at 6 p.m. So we'd want to like invite all of the youth commission members if they have time. We would only broadcast it for like 10 to 15 minutes, like, and you don't even have to stay for that full time. Just we want as many people to show up for that so that we can, you know, see how the quality is. So, I mean, I can send out like an email reminder or something on Slack, but I just wanted to let you all know that we're planning that this Thursday at 6 p.m. And that we also have a flyer. So we will probably ask like social media group or people from different schools to send out that flyer or publish it somewhere, and it's in the drive. And then we are also planning a racial justice speaker series sometime for November, but we're like in the planning stages of that.
Lily, can you repeat as to when you guys are going to have the movie?
Oh
that way
yeah,
you can repeat
sorry.
it for
So it's
everyone.
October 16th on
Okay.
Friday. So coming up soon. It's 7:30 p.m. And that's all on the flyer as well, which is in the social justice folder.
What movie did you say it was again?
It's called On the Basis of Sex. It's PG-13 and it's about the life of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah, so Lily, I would just, like Rebecca suggested, make sure it's really clear on the poster that it's rated PG-13 and stuff. But otherwise, it looks awesome.
Any other questions for social justice? Any public comments? Okay, so I believe that is it for old business. We can now go to new business, which is documenting COVID project with the Campbell Museum. So I believe Julie has more details on that.
Yeah, so Anna from the City of Campbell's Museums Department reached out to me wanting to kind of let you guys know about a project she's working on and that you guys might be interested in contributing to, or possibly if one of the subcommittees thinks it fits into their area, if they want to kind of take a little lead on it. They're working on like documenting COVID this time and this kind of weird era we're in right now. So they're documenting how people are feeling, what they're doing, just kind of everything, so that they can like look back in 10 years and kind of have kind of memories about it. And they want it to be kind of like personal. It can be just stories of what you're doing at this time, how you're feeling. It could be poems, it could be photos, it could be things, hobbies you took up, pictures of those kind of things. So they're just kind of collecting those kind of things and documenting it for the museum. So if anyone has any interest in kind of partaking in that, I know they would really love it. Or if anybody thinks their subcommittee would be interested in reaching out to other people, it doesn't have to be just from us. It can be the community and stuff, or any friends. If you have anything that you've been kind of working on during this COVID time or over the summer, it'd be a good thing to contribute. Any kind of questions about that?
We can probably create a flyer to maybe kind of talk about that possible event for the public to get involved with. And then I think, I don't know if it pertains to a singular subcommittee, but maybe if anybody's interested, we can probably ask for like a bit more background information as to what we can contribute, and then kind of get a better idea and then see if it like really, if it's comfortable with us, and then kind of do kind of like a one-on-one kind of interaction rather than just being like a whole subcommittee thing. Because it does sound very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah.
I'd like to add into that is I really encourage you guys to take part in this opportunity. We're in the middle of a pandemic that we've never experienced to this extent before. And so although it's of course a very large challenge with the impact it's done to all of us and our many people we know, and you guys are on here on a virtual Zoom instead of in person. It's something that you guys can say you served on the Youth Commission during this pandemic, and hopefully other youth commissioners won't have to say the same thing one day. So I really encourage you to think about this is a really big opportunity that you don't want to pass up.
I think kind of going off what Lauren just had to say, maybe we can kind of create something as a youth commission and kind of put it in as a contribution to that whole documentary. Kind of show like we were here and we were able to do what we are doing as a youth commission. So we can certainly discuss it in case anybody has any ideas we can do right now, or certainly use Slack to decide as to like ways to contribute. So Julie, did they have like a specific date as to like, when they want things to be completed, or were there any dates that they had to say?
No, it's kind of just an ongoing project they're working on. I can ask her if there's any kind of deadline, but it seems like it's just an ongoing thing for now.
Drew, I think that's a really good idea to do it like as a commission. And so maybe we can just like try to like document all the events that we're doing and like the meetings, and then like put it together in a video or a slideshow or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Another thing we can possibly do too is maybe by the next meeting, we can certainly think about other activities that we can do or other things we can contribute to the documentary, kind of get like more, kind of going on what Kayla had to say. So we can certainly take, till the next meeting, figure out other creative ways to really contribute and really kind of leave our mark as well. So that way we don't have too much stress trying to figure something out right now, and we take the time to give the best we can.
I feel like one idea, this is not like to like I don't know, like just seem like right away, but I feel like one good idea is like everyone takes like a video of them like for a quick second, and it's like a paper holding up how they feel mentally and how they're like going through it, just like one word or like two words describing how they felt during this entire like quarantine and like COVID pandemic. I feel like that's like a good idea to like put into that project, and I feel like it would like show what teens are really going through mentally and physically throughout this like pandemic.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool too. So are there any other questions in terms of this COVID project for the Campbell Museum?
I was wondering if we were to do something like this, how would we send it in to the historical museum?
Well, if it's something digital, we can just send it pretty much through email or Google Drive sharing kind of things. If it's something physical, I would have to get back to you on that, but seems like most ideas would be probably digital anyway.
Any other questions? Are there any public comments? So I believe that now brings us to calendar reminders.
Yes, calendar reminders.
So October 9th, we have the Pizza Politics, event. It starts at 6, so maybe if you have a speaking role, keep in mind you want to hop on maybe around 5:30 to make sure you have everything prepared. Everybody else, if you do not have a speaking role, please be there from 6 to 8 p.m. Actually, I think in terms of pizza and politics, Julie, since we are the youth commission, what should we just wear our youth commission shirts that we received?
Yeah, I was trying to remember what was decided with Kayla. I think we said black youth commission shirts. Yeah. If you have the speaking role, obviously, if you're just tuning in for the live stream, then you won't be in the video. So you can wear your pajamas.
All right, so just as a reminder, October 9th is the Pizza Politics event from 6 to 8 p.m. We have the October 21st essay workshop. Timing to be determined, either 5 to 7 or 6 to 8, but we'll find a time more concrete that we can talk to teachers about it. Civic Engagement, they have the voter registration event October 17th. Location still to be decided. And then for social justice, we have On the Basis of Sex movie night October 16th, 7:30. And then this Thursday, we do have a 6 p.m. test run for the movie. So if anybody is available, feel free to hop on. Did I miss any other calendar reminders, or is that it? All right, sounds good. So now it's time for once around the table, or actually any other questions in terms of calendar reminders?
Oh, Ada has her hand raised.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have a question. I just had it raised earlier and then I forgot to put it down. So.
Any public comments?
No public comments.
Okay, so now it's time for comments around the table. Who would like to start us off?
I'll start. So today, today was an off day for Westmont. At least I don't know if I'm pretty sure CHSD y'all had it off, but at least for Westmont we had it off. And so I spent like the majority of the beginning of the day just watching movies and stuff. Because honestly, I don't want to think about schoolwork right now. It's so stressful, and there's a lot going on. And so yeah, that was. Oh, it's been monumental. Oh yeah, and I stubbed my toe a few days ago, and it bruised, and it was kind of sad. But now I'm all good now.
I guess I'll go. I finally got my license first try, so that was like really good, and I was like really happy. So I like drove to like one of my friends' houses, and like we all celebrated because I was like really nervous to get my license. So that's like something new and really cool.
I held the first Fem Club meeting for our school just earlier today. So that made me really happy. I was excited about that.
Last Monday, can you guys hear me? Last Monday, I held my school's first Spanish conversation club meeting, and I think it went pretty well because we got like 7 people, which is a pretty good number because last year our like average was like 3 people that came. So I was pretty happy that we got some new members, and they actually like engaged in conversation, so that was good.
My brother downloaded Among Us, so we've been playing that a lot together.
We got a dog last week. Juve and I, we got a dog. We went to Nebraska to get him, so that was something fun.
I hope Drew is getting the dog right now.
Yesterday, my family and I, we drove down to Point Lobos and went hiking, and it was really beautiful. And we got to see the ocean. And we found a hidden beach, and yeah, it was really nice.
So his name is Percy. He is a Portuguese water dog. He is now 10 weeks old.
Tennis practice has started, so that was pretty fun. And then I made a new friend, which is pretty cool.
So this fall, Westmont Theater, we're going to have a Halloween show, and I'm going to direct it, which is exciting. I've never really directed anything before, but we're going to see how it goes.
Yesterday, my family and I decided to go to the beach, and it was pretty fun.
I went to the farmer's market this weekend, and I got to go to my favorite bakery, and now the person knows me there.
I have school this week still, but I got to go biking over the weekend, so that was pretty fun.
My friend
I'm going to be in. Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to be in Westmont's Halloween show this year, and I'm super excited. It was really fun last year to be in the show, so I'm really excited for this year's.
My friend and I went for a walk yesterday, and it was just nice to catch up with her and like enjoy the fresh air.
So kind of going off what Amok had to say, I stole my thunder because I want to talk about Percy, but he kind of took over. But he is very interesting. I mean, he's in his whole teething phase right now. So He does bite a lot. Luckily, though, for some reason, he likes me, even though I'm barely like giving him the amount of attention I should be giving. But he listens to me, like sleep next to me a lot. Whereas he bites the Moke, I kind of find pride in that because the Moke spends a lot more time with him. Yet he prefers my, presence more. So I kind of had that feeling where I think he likes me. I think it's just safe to say he likes me. So it's been great having him by my side in terms of really scaring a Moke away when he's in the whole biting frenzy. But has been a lot of sleepless nights, but I mean, it's kind of worth it. So yeah. Are those all the, did everybody speak for once around the table? Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
Then I guess it's safe to say that I adjourned this meeting at 7:48 p.m.
All right, let me see how to end the live stream.